Hey everybody, welcome back to Inside Indiana Overtime. Alex McCarthy, Seth Tao here at Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. Indiana again nearly wins a bowl game, but
Stop me if you've heard this one before.
yeah, but can't finish it out. Loses 26-24 to Utah, and it was a game where Indiana was not really expected to win, but just like usual, they stayed in it really the whole time. The defense kept them in it for a lot of the time until it wore down at the end. Utah running back Joe Williams just tore him up, especially late. Ran for 222 yards, which is a Foster Farms Bowl record, if you keep track of things like that. It seemed like whenever they needed something to happen, he made it happen. I mean, he converted on like a 3rd and 15 on the first drive. He converted on another 3rd and 18, and then late in the game, he just kind of put him on his back, as they say. And Indiana just wasn't able to stop him.
Yeah, I mean, he was the bread and butter of their offense, the real engine for Utah. I mean, they didn't really pass that much. I mean, they only threw the ball 24 times.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, we knew coming into the game that they were going to lean on the rush, and they did exactly that. And Indiana had a hard time stopping it.
Yeah, I mean, they pretty much were who we thought they were, Utah. Even though Indiana, handled them at times. I mean, the Indiana's front seven, without one of their best players, was really able to disrupt them at times. 5 sacks, which is a season high. 8 tackles for loss. Tigre Scales had another excellent game. He was defensive MVP of the game, but they just weren't able to make those stops late in the game that they needed to. And then, offensively, it was just more of the same for Indiana. I mean, Richard Lego was just really not very effective throughout the game. He was 14 for 39, 1 interception, 1 touchdown, 188 yards. Just not not really an inspiring performance, I guess, to say the least.
I mean, he was erratic throughout the game. He didn't get much help because there were a lot of drop passes.
There were, yeah.
The receivers didn't really lend him a hand, no pun intended. But
Nice.
Yeah, the receivers didn't lend him a hand very much, but he was all over the place for most of the game. He had a few nice plays at the end to give Indiana a chance for the win, but I mean, the Griffin Oaks missed the field goal after a nice drive, and Lego wasn't able to get the throw off as time expired. Got hit as he threw, so just wasn't enough.
Yeah, his timing just wasn't there all game. I mean, he had at least 7 or 8 passes that were knocked down on the line of scrimmage.
Only threw 1 pick, but had like 3 or 4 more that easily could have been picked.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and he just, he held on to the ball, like you said, on that last play way too long and wasn't even able to get a throw off to the end zone. And he certainly has the arm to get it there from midfield, but just really didn't give himself a chance there. You mentioned Griffin Oaks missing a field goal there at the end, wide right from 40 yards away. Again, kind of shades.
Stop me if you heard this one before.
Yeah, kind of shades of last season. Obviously, that a lot of people were talking about on Twitter and things like that. But who knows what would have happened? I mean, Utah, because of that, Indiana didn't extend its lead to 4 points, and so Utah was able to just settle for a field goal on that last drive. Who knows if they would have managed it differently and tried to get it into the end zone there? Maybe Indiana.
I don't think they were necessarily settling for a field goal because they'd be giving the ball to Williams anyway.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, who knows how it would have shaken out at the end? But I think for a first game under a new head coach, I mean, I know that really not that much changed. I mean, it was pretty much the same coaching staff. But for the first game under a new head coach and with just the weird emotional ups and downs of the last 30 days or so, I thought Indiana, as a whole, represented itself pretty well. I mean, Utah, pretty legitimate team, top 20 team, and Indiana stuck with them and had them on the ropes at the end, and was just a play here, a play there, short of pulling the upset. I guess what are a couple of the big takeaways? Going into the offseason now. I guess what are a couple of your takeaways from this game, from this season, from really this whole ride that we've seen?
Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to take that much away from the whole season and the ride, just because they're really entering this new period after this season with Tom Allen. But more so than after other of these close losses, they looked. The guys, like we talked after the game, T. Gray Scales, Dan Feeney, Jonathan Crawford, more so than some of these other close losses, they look tired of this.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
look tired of just coming up short, and we're not mincing words about it. I mean, Feeney just said it sucks.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, Allen might be what they need to. If Wilson was able to get the program up to the point where they could compete in these types of games, maybe Allen's what they need to get them over the hump and start winning some of these games. Obviously, it didn't happen today, but I mean, give Allen a little more time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think just the game in, game out performance of the defense this year, it just
Has
it's
to be
not
encouraging.
it's not a fluke. I mean, it certainly seems like there's personnel in place, and there's a system in place, and there's a mentality in place where this defense can be good next year, if not, over the next few years.
The defense will be set. What you got to watch for in the offseason is what they do offensively. If he sticks with Kevin Johns, if he brings in somebody from the outside to be offensive coordinator, what happens with the quarterback, if Lego stays in that spot, if they go with somebody else, who knows?
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
what those two decisions will really shape what Indiana football looks like in 2017.
Yeah, the next couple weeks are going to be very interesting. Well, I guess the next month and change is going to be interesting with coaching, staff changes, and then the signing day coming up February 1st. It's going to be a wild month or so, and obviously we'll have coverage of it all. Hopefully no news happens tomorrow while we're on cross-country flights, but but things will happen. The coaching staff will change. I don't think there's any doubt about that. It's going to be a very, very important offseason for Indiana. That offensive coordinator hire is the most important storyline of the offseason. And yeah, we'll see what they do. But yeah, for now, I mean, it's just this is Indiana football. I mean, it's they're in it for the whole time, and just can't make those extra few plays.
And it all depends on what your expectations are for Indiana football, and Allen seems interested in raising the bar.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the past couple of years, it's been, for fans, it's been great to just be up to this level where you can compete and get to a bowl game. I mean, after 2 years of 6-6 and getting to a bowl game and losing, it might be time to change that mentality, start winning these games, finish with a winning record, and it's time to take the next step.
Yeah, and Indiana's going to look to finish above 500 for the first time since 2007 next year. They'll look to go to, break the bowl losing streak that is going on 26 years it'll be next year without a bowl win. So, yeah, still a lot to strive for, obviously, for Indiana. Big offseason coming up, but that's about it from Levi Stadium here in beautiful Santa Clara. We're going to head out, but thanks for watching. Thanks for reading all season. And it's about to get interesting. For Seth Tao, I'm Alex McCarthy, and we'll talk to you soon.